Welcome to Capital Courage, where politics meets bold ideas and fearless conversations.
We're here to break down the biggest stories in Virginia and across the country with hot takes, real talk, and a little fun along the way.
Whether it's policy fights, political showdowns, or leaders making waves,
We're diving into the courage it takes to stand up, speak out, and shake things up.
so let's get into it. This is Capital Courage with Rena and Ryan.
Well, that felt good.
Oh my god, we're back, baby!
Our loyal 5 listeners.
We have been getting hounded, harassed on the streets. When is the next season? When will you guys record again? We're dying to hear your thoughts.
You might notice, too, you don't just hear our wonderful voices, but we're coming to you today, and from now on, season 3 on, with video. Here we
I
are.
was pausing in case anyone needed to take a screenshot, like online. They could. You're able to use that one. You're welcome. But yeah, I think gone are the days of just audio. I think we had to mix it up a little bit and do some video so you can see our facial expressions with things. And if there's like a lag on like the audio, it's like we're rolling our eyes or something, and now you can see that. And I'm truly just hoping we get some good content for like some good memes, you know.
We'll get some good stuff. We're gonna be in live time reacting. This is real. This feels very real. I feel like we're vlogging.
Day in the life of Rena and Ryan. Let's show you around. And it is real, because if this was the day in the life of Rena and Ryan, we would be doing what we're going to do today, which is talk about the latest and greatest in politics in Virginia and across the country. I did theme today. Like I did wear my LL Bean sweatshirt and my Maine shirt, because that's what we're talking about. Fuck. That's how I feel. Like I feel like fuck.
I feel like we gotta give you a moment to process your feelings, especially we can't let a pod go by without acknowledging the fact that it is cancer season
This cancer
and
season.
our
Very
birthdays were a couple
sensitive.
weeks ago. I don't think it's a coincidence that we've been gone from this pod for a while. Work's been busy. We'll tell some of those stories in the coming weeks. Buckle up if you know, you know. But we've come back to the pod in cancer season, and so you might have some things to process. Like you met Graham. You've been to a Graham
Yep.
rally.
Yeah. So
What are you feeling?
last November, because I have some family in Maine, and I used to live there when I was little. Went up for a family visit and saw that he had a town hall that was like 50 minutes away. And my son was going to be hunting, and so I was like, oh, okay. This was like still kind of early on, after I think he announced maybe like August. So like,
Mhm.
but it was, the movement was there. Like everything was picking up, and I was like, you know what? I gotta go like see this in person. This was also maybe a month or two after like the tattoo oppo dropped about
Mhm.
his Nazi tattoo that he allegedly claims he didn't know about. And that was kind of like the hot thing when I went. And I remember like laughing, like, oh, I'm gonna do on the ground reporting, just to be in the room and talk to people. And like no one really cared. Like I asked a lot of people that were, I was like by myself, that was sitting around. I was like, oh, have you seen all the stuff? And I think some of the Reddit comments at that point had come out, and they were like, yeah, but like, it's not my favorite thing, but like we've got to beat Susan Collins, and we like his message, and like who doesn't have like a past, like who hasn't made mistakes, he's apologized for them, blah blah blah. So I really didn't find anyone that was like super caught up on it. And I think we kind of saw that sentiment even play out like along social media. The story he gave to me and my lived experience of uh, my husband being in the Army, National Guard, and just being around um, that group of people. I grew up as a Navy brat. Like I live in, well, I won't, well, I live in Norfolk. Everyone knows I live in Norfolk. Fucking, that's not a secret. But like, I mean, I live and I grew up in like a military community. And so, yes, the story of drunken, you know, army dudes on an R&R in the middle of a deployment, walking into a bar in Croatia and being like, the fucking skull tattoo looks dope, and putting it on their bodies because they think they're fucking cool guys. Like, yeah, that's a believable story, 100%.
100%.
Um, and most people, like, I did my own little, test with people like, do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? And everyone's like, no. It wasn't a swastika. And so I don't think it's something that people really realize. And then, when it was pointed out, he got it covered up. And so I think people were able to move past that a lot. Obviously, as time went on and more of these things came out, it became clear, like, I guess for me, I was like, this guy's like not great. Like this isn't someone like I would hang out with or put in my inner circle. But the way that he was able to capture people and the way he was talking like a normal fucking person, and whether, there's some critics now like, oh, he's cosplayed the whole time as like a working class person, and he grew up super privileged, and that may be the case, but regardless, he was able to connect with people in those settings. Um, and he looked the part and he talked the part very well. And so if he was cosplaying, incredible acting, maybe there's a career for him there. Lots of sexual assaulters in Hollywood, so maybe he'll fit right in. Obviously, spoiler alert, he's a piece of shit and should drop out, like 100%. Not a fan. Like, yeah, like that's disgusting. It's gross. What bums me out is I don't want the platform, and no one owns a platform, right? Like that's the platform of working people. I'm bummed that platform might take a hit for what he did, and that's like incredibly disappointing, and it really bums me out, and makes me like sad because I'm like, damn, like I thought we were going to have this kind of, I mean, we've had a lot of great success with Mamdani, but I also thought this was going to be like kind of a blueprint for people to run on. And obviously like remaining authentic and genuine to yourself and your voters and like where you're running. But like, yes, like finally like a proof point of like being anti-corporate and pro working families and not giving a fuck about corporate donors and not pissing people off, and being, as some would say, America first, and not worrying about other countries and having allegiances elsewhere before taking care of our own people in our district. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely rambling, but like it's a bummer. And it's like it's one of those days I can't get off fucking Twitter because I'm just like a glutton for punishment. But it's like all these people are like doing victory laps around like something coming out of someone like being a rapist. And it's like, that is so bizarre to me. And if you are like feeling any sort of joy or like, fuck yeah, I knew it. It's like, he like hurt people. That's disgusting. Like, why are you happy about that? Like, that's not something like anyone should be celebrating. And there's so many, and I don't know why I take this personally. Like, I live in Virginia. I don't have anything to do with that campaign. But people are like, oh, all of you that lifted him up, like you owe us apologies. I'm like, I'm not fucking apologizing.
No.
I don't fucking owe anyone an apology. I mean, they're not talking to me, but I feel like they are. But I'm like, I don't know. Only he can answer for what he did. I didn't do anything. I believed in a message that I was excited to see play out because I felt like there were a lot of obstacles to prevent that message and that platform from being the platform of the Democratic nominee. And he pushed past all those, and it's like so frustrating because I'm trying to think of other places. Obviously, we have some great other candidates and hopefully we see how those play out around the country. But it's like, damn, he was the nominee. That was the platform. That was the message. And there was, and like that was going to be on the ballot. And so, fingers crossed that the voters of Maine are able to coalesce around someone that continues to carry at least that platform and message that really is probably why he resonated with so many people. I don't think it was just him, you know? And I think we say this all the time. Like, it's not you. It's
Yeah.
the party, it's the message, it's the policies that come out of this. So when people win these, like when we in Virginia had our amazing election night, the takeaway here is not that people are obsessed with these individual politicians running for office. That is not the fucking takeaway. You are not special. It's a lot of right time, right place, and right message. Um, for a lot of things, I think you can swap out faces of people and probably have the same results. So that's how I'm feeling.
That's how you're feeling. I'm glad you had that moment. I
Thank
think you
you.
needed that.
I really did. I didn't realize. I also had therapy this morning, and so I'm just like pushing out all my thoughts.
What else are we here for if not that, you know? But I think it's so true of like I was thinking this yesterday when we have a friend who works in Maine right now, and we were getting some early messages before the Politico article came out of, oh, this is going to come, this is like there's another one and it's a bad one like coming
Yeah.
out.
And there was already
And
like talk on Twitter of people like, "Uh-oh."
yeah,
And so we were all waiting for when the article actually dropped.
but my first reaction was very much like, okay, like cool, like it is not about Graham. It's not Graham's thing, it's not Graham's movement. To take what Bernie Sanders always says when he's like, this is not about me, it's about us. Like that's so true.
Yeah.
And I think to your point of describing how people have reacted, not to call it apples and apples because it's not, but like how people have reacted about him ever since the first scandals of the Reddit comments or the tattoo. It's like people have been so willing to look past that because they're so fucking desperate for a new kind of politics. And it's not confined to Maine, it's not confined to New York City, it's everywhere. We're seeing it all around the country. And um, that
That's
that
a
is,
that's a great point. And I just want to like lift that up and make sure that message is heard of. We really should be framing it like that. It's not a blame of like, wow, we have so many fucking awful people in the country that are just okay with this, and more of like, why are so many people able to look past these things?
yeah,
Like, what does that say about like the greater landscape? And, it's probably a very, very similar answer to Trump.
yeah,
Why are people able to look past all of this stuff and continue to vote for him? And what does that say about everyone else?
yeah. 100%. It's the and like to be clear, hot take, like there are some pretty, to borrow a term from Hillary Clinton, like there are some pretty deplorable people clearly that support Trump. Like
Right.
that's
Right.
a
That
real thing.
like what yeah, that are like
Yeah.
enthusiastic about the things he says and his rhetoric.
There's some
Correct.
Nazis. There's some like some
Yeah.
bad people, but like by and large, I've always been one of those people that's like you can't demonize someone for who they vote for, who they support. Most people, to your point, they're looking at a message,
Hmm.
and if they are voting for someone, it's probably for most people because they they have a deep emotional need. Like this is why voting, politics, like they are emotional decisions. Like I talk to people in my family sometimes who are like, well, like can't someone see the logic of their vote? And I'm like, no, people don't
No.
vote for logical reasons. They vote for emotional reasons.
Yes.
And again, as cancers, I think we get this is like if your decisions are emotional, you've got to unpack it from that perspective. And the emotion here right now is that people are fucking fed up with, as you said, corporations that are rigging the rules and rigging them further to make more money while the rest of us don't get ahead. They're sick of all of your taxpayer dollars being sent to Israel. They're sick of those dollars being used to murder children in Gaza. Like these are the kinds of things they're sick of. And it's I think as you said, very revealing to see some people, at least on my Twitter algorithm, in the quote unquote Democratic
A lot of
establishment,
mine, yeah.
that are like, oh, guess the vetting didn't go well.
It's
Or
also
like,
like that's not coming out in like Oppo stuff. Like that
no,
takes someone coming forward about a story. So I'm not really following all of like shame on the research team. It's like what?
like, how
No,
do you
like this comes out because
pinpoint
someone
that?
comes forward. Like
Yes,
the
yes.
fuck? Um
And
yeah,
it's just
and so
weird.
yeah,
That
some
cringy
of the
reaction.
rhetoric around I'm like this is not the people around him did not know about this. So please stop. Like
Yeah.
they're not sitting back talking like, "Oh, yeah, we got one over on them." Like that's not like Jesus Christ.
Mhm. But the cringy reaction is the problem. It's the problem from a people who are treating or have treated politics like some kind of like game.
Oh yeah, it's
And
100%.
to regular
Um,
people, it matters because it's making your life harder.
yeah.
Or someone carrying that kind of message. I'm not going to say Graham specifically, but like that kind of message. It's a message that's resonating, and we'll see. I
Very
think
much so. I
to your
think
point, like it's been the platform, and hopefully it stays the platform. Whoever the voters of Maine
gosh,
pick.
it has to or yeah, I fear we lost our chance there. Um, which sucks. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's not fun, but you know, we've got some other states while Maine figures their shit out. Mallory McMorrow, candidate for the Democratic nomination for the U.S. Senate in Michigan, dropped out, which I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't like paying close enough attention. Like that kind of, I wasn't expecting her to drop. So
Hmm.
I felt like that was kind of shocking to me. I feel like normally you hear kind of whisperings, and maybe there was, and I just didn't see them. But I was like, oh, okay. So now it's a two-way race between Abdul El Said and Haley Stevens, and she's fucking crazy. Um,
She's batshit.
she's weird. Like like she's weird. I can't like
Yeah.
describe it any other
No, she's
way.
weird.
And it's in that one that's like it's not like a cute weird. It's like oh like no, you're just like weird, and I don't know like how you got to this point. I don't know how she's in Congress. How was she elected the first time? Like she is weird. She like talks weird. She like her like mannerisms are weird. She's just weird. And I'm sorry, I
Hmm.
can't there's a role for everyone and this is not yours. Um she is spiraling right now too. She's like posting like I also yeah, we talk about this all the time. Like obviously you have to run a primary race and you have to make the case to the voters of why you're a better Democrat than someone else. And whether that's you're a better Democrat because you're better suited to beat the Republican challenger, you're a better Democrat because of your policies, whatever. Like that's your case to make. But I fucking hate when they like drop oppo on each other like this. Um, obviously, like I really don't think I think Janet Mills in the Maine situation before she dropped, I think she was just using what came out. I don't think she was like going out
Yeah.
and getting the oppo. She was just taking advantage. And that's one thing. If it's out there, it's out there. That got messy too. But this, like I just saw today, she Haley Stevens like put something on Twitter and it's like now she has this whole website that's like coming for Abdul and all these reasons why he like has misled people and I'm just like what are you really publishing Oppo for a potential and same to her truly I mean I think she's fucking weird and that's public knowledge but like why are we publishing Oppo on like a website in a very contested like US Senate seat.
Because it's this weird. I think not that I've seen the website or anything, but my gut reaction to it is that it's probably the same kind of thing that it's a symptom of the same dynamic that we saw after the New York City primary a couple weeks ago when all those Memdani backed
Yes.
DSA candidates won in New York City, including some that unseated incumbents, and the reaction to that from, I forget the like weird little group name they have, but like the centrist Democrats in Congress, um,
The former
when they
Blue
put this,
Dogs.
yeah, something like that. Like they put a manifesto together, and they were like, "We are going to fight these people," and I'm like, it's that symptom where there's a certain type of centrist Democrat who thinks people on the left are actually a scarier threat than Trump
Mhm.
or
Or just like a
another
Republican being in
Republican.
office. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and like that's a problem. Like that's
and
really
I
fucking bad.
I still haven't really figured out like why. Like why? What
I think
is
a
this
lot of it,
specific? And like they'll name like, oh, they had a tweet one time that said this, and it's like that's there's no way that that's it. So like just be honest. Like what is it? Is it Medicare for all? Is that your line that they crossed?
yeah.
Um,
Because
it's weird.
I know it's donor driven. Like I
Yeah.
know to my core it's donor driven. I would love to know which donors are the ones that sort of pull the puppet strings to say like, okay, that's a bad candidate. You got to go against that person. Is it Medicare for all? Is it Israel and APAC? Like what is the thing? Because it's and we see this in our day job sometimes where there's corporations in Virginia that donate to politicians of both parties and on a lot of issues, sometimes it doesn't really matter to the corporate donor whether it's a Democrat or a Republican who's in charge because they're
Right.
friends with both.
Yeah.
And they know at their
They'll be
core, they're
fine.
like, they're going to watch out for me no matter what. So I
Yeah,
don't
we're
really care.
good. Our bases are covered.
Yeah. And the candidate slash elected official kind of feels the same way too. It's like on for a particular donor, they're like, yeah, like we're going to look out for our people. That's a problem.
Mm.
It's a corporate capture of politics that people, the New York City candidates, Abdul, Melak Kiros in Colorado, like those people all scare the corporate donors because they are, as is it Shirley Chisholm? I think like back in the day, they're on bot.
Yeah, I keep seeing lots of comparisons to this being like the Democratic Tea Party.
Mhm.
Um, and it's like funny because like when it first came out, I was like, that is that good? Like, and then I'm like, oh, like they're like talking about it in like a really negative way. I guess like, yeah, we don't have to call it like the Tea Party, obviously. But for me, it's more of like a redirection and I really I don't know. I do still believe that the tent is big enough for all.
Yeah.
I think we need to rethink what our like core values are and I think like people are showing us what they are. And
Hmm.
so I think our political system for the past couple decades has been very top down and at least like from my view and I don't know if I'm just biased because I'm in it and I'm feeling it but I'm like oh no it feels like it's coming bottom up now like it really does like I do think we are in a very very pivotal moment not only just like midterms wise but like in all these elections state local I was looking at like national news covering the town hall last night that was in Loudoun on data centers and it was like a packed room, overflowed out into the foyer. Like just create like I've just never seen so much local, like there's like the one-off issues across the country and stuff that will have people, but I just really feel like people are more locked in and paying attention and active than ever. Um, at least the amount of time that I've been doing this work and, following things going on. And I know we'll get into Virginia data center fights probably in our next episode, but wanted to make sure this conversation was timely given yesterday's news. And who knows, by the time this goes out, probably tomorrow, I'd be interested to see if Graham has dropped by then.
Hmm. Me too. I think it's as you were talking, I was thinking of two tweets that I saw recently that feel very emblematic of sort of where where the ground up energy is. And one is well, it was a tweet about a thing that's happening. It was an interview with a voter in Wisconsin, where there's a Democratic primary for governor going on right now, and there's a DSA backed candidate, Francesca Hong, and she's been very anti data center. And it was an interview with a Republican who was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna vote for her. Like, I'm basically I'm single issuing it right now." Reminds me of another interview a few weeks ago with a Republican who said the same about James Tallarico in Texas, single issuing on data centers. And the the kind of message that I saw in a tweet that reminded me of those interviews was people saying that it's quite possible that the best thing Mamdani will have done, not just in terms of any policies that help people in New York or whatever, but the thing that'll have the biggest ripple effect is moving the Democratic Party and maybe the country writ large from politics that has been identity based
Yeah.
to class based.
Yes.
And
Yes,
and
yes,
and
yes,
that is
yes,
the part
yes.
where it's like the Democratic Party, and I'm not saying that that was a bad thing at the moment, especially in the 2010s and stuff and early 2020s, when I feel like there needed to be a lot of attention, and still needs to be, certainly in a policy perspective, on issues that impact specific
100%.
demographics
100%.
and are very identity based. But I think what we've seen since COVID is just this massive explosion of economic inequality that we're seeing from the ground up cannot be ignored. And people see it, people feel it, like they've felt it since 2021. The Youngkin winning on supposedly education and like critical race theory was sort of the buzzy thing, but a lot of it was just this really feeling of like, my life's really expensive. He's talking about cost of living, and it's still there 5 years later. Like, people feel a struggle with how much things cost. And there's kind of this binary of like, the politician is with regular people or you're with corporations, cuts across all demographics. It's very economy based, and that's just where people are. And politicians either have to, uh, in my opinion, embrace it or lose.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I guess we'll we'll find out what they pick.
Sure will.
As the months go on, closer to the midterms, and I just saw here in Virginia, Elaine Luria running in Congressional District 2 just had her first ad go up. So I'm like, okay, all right, we're getting our message out to the public. It's time. It's starting. So, yeah, well, let's hope they all resonate.
I think a kind of closing thought I have is, I was thinking of what you said about Mallory and people being locked in, and it reminds me of, like, I've seen some commentary about this, just about her not having a lane. That was the big reason that she had to drop out, and there's probably some truth to that. Like, you can't get donors, you can't get voters if you're not in a
Right.
lane and that kind of thing. But it also feels like, again, there's this shift happening right now where, like, in Trump 1.0, it was kind of enough to say, I'm a fighter,
100%.
and use the buzzword,
Yep.
whatever the buzzword was.
A
But
resist.
people were, yeah, yeah, that was the buzzword, folks.
Resistor.
People are
Hashtag.
so locked in now that they deserve to be communicated with respect. And
Yeah.
like, that's the part of, again, the message that, acting or not, like Graham carried very well, is like, people want real, they want honest, and they'll see through the other kind of fakeness. And like, I liked a lot of Mallory's message, but there was sort of this element that, we certainly see it in Virginia with some of our uh, Democratic candidates. But you think that it's enough for you to just like check the box of a few buzzwords,
Right.
be anti-Trump, and then you're good, right? Like, you don't really have to stand for much else, do you?
Yeah. I
But the
definitely
people
saw
want that.
a she wasn't as like, because I followed her because I feel like she also was very at least on, again, not real, but Twitter, was a popular state legislator. And
Yeah.
I remember following her then. And I was thinking about that when she dropped. I was like, she did get a lot dimmer to me. Like, she used to have
Yes.
like a lot of fire, like, and I could feel it, and it was very
Yes.
authentic. And then, yeah, it did kind of, um, yeah, dim out. So, but yeah, I mean, I still like her. I
Totally.
hope she continues to stay in public service, and yeah, maybe the next time around.
Don't lose that fire.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have today. Yeah, we'll get into lots of data center conversations, and as we kind of do a look back to the 2026 legislative session, the budget fight that never ended until last week, 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks, 7 days ago, actually, it was
Well, last week, yeah.
yeah, last week. And kind of like where we are moving forward, because it's definitely not going away.
Yeah.
Which is impressive, and it's the people. The people are keeping their foot on the gas on this data center thing. So, and we are the best situated to talk about this, being in Virginia, the data center capital of the entire world. So,
Yeah.
and technically the universe, because unless there's other galaxies that have uh, data centers, I don't think so. But yeah, that's us.
I doubt it. I like that. We should start using that. Sell it to the Data Center Coalition. You're not just the data center capital of the
You're
world.
the capital of the universe, the galaxy.
Like,
Which one's bigger, the universe or galaxy? I don't even know. You're
universe.
okay. Yep, you're the data
The
center
galaxy sounds
capital
cool.
of the galaxy. So, yeah, I like the galaxy.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Capital courage out.
Hmm.